Hello! Welcome to another Mindset Breakthrough Day with Sandra Bravo. On behalf of Success Resources, Tony Robbins, myself, welcome to another amazing day because it's the little breakthroughs that stack up to make the big breakthroughs. So if you are focused on learning one new thing every day, one implementation, one change, one shift, one paradigm, one breakthrough, they stack up to make a big difference in your life. And many times is the little things, the little changes that make the biggest difference. So I'm your host, I'm Sandra Bravo. I'm in beautiful Gold Coast of Australia. You can see this place. I'm in a beach called Broad Beach in Gold Coast, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful spring day. You can see the beautiful buildings there, the sand, the beach, the water, the ocean is just magical. I'm very fortunate to live in a very beautiful paradise part of the world. And I love spring because the weather is beautiful. It doesn't get too hot, too cold. So, and today I'm very excited because we're going to talk about you don't do list is more important than your to-do list. So get ready to learn. Share with me where you are watching from. We have been testing the different times to see what's best for you because we're here to serve you. And if you're in Europe, I think this is the perfect time for you because it's probably like 8 in the morning. So you're kind of maybe having breakfast, getting ready to go to work or to work from home or to take the kids to school or to catch your public transport or your bicycle if you're in Amsterdam to go to where you need to go. And if you're in Asia, it's 2 in the afternoon. If you're in Australia like me, it's 4 in the afternoon. If you're in North America, it's probably a bit late. You would be in bed by now, perhaps. But I think this is a very good time for Europe. So let's test that. Let us know. I want to know first your name, where you're tuning in from today, and if you're watching live or if you are watching the replay afterwards. And even when you're watching the replay, let us know if this is a good time for you, which is 8 in the morning, kind of like Spain time, Amsterdam time. And if you live, let us know as well. I don't get distracted while I'm doing live because I want to focus on you and give you all of my attention because that's the least that you deserve. But I always go back to read the comments afterwards and I personally reply to all of them. So I want to get to know you and what your name is and what you're tuning in from and if this time is good for you. So get ready with your notebook and your pen and get ready to learn. I am pumped today because you know what? Tomorrow we have UPW virtual starting for us here in Australia. And man, I am pumped because I've done UPW twice now. This is gonna be my third time. I did it in a physical room 10 years ago where I got to walk on fire and have amazing breakthroughs. It changed my life forever. After UPW, I ended up discovering my life purpose and leaving my full-time job to start my own business and do what I love, which is this, and create the dream life for myself and my kids. And then I did the very first ever UPW virtual just a couple of months ago in July with Tony Robbins. And it was just transformational. And I'm like, I'm doing it again. And you know what? It's my birthday on Saturday. So I thought, what a better way to spend my birthday than with the man, the legend himself, Tony Robbins, doing UPW, having breakthroughs, taking my life to a whole new level because there is always another level. It doesn't matter where you are or how good or content you are with your life or how much success you have. There is always another level, my friend. There is always another layer of the onion to peel. I know there is certainly for me. And in fact, just like the recessions, like the financial recessions in the world, I find in my experience, and I love to hear your opinion and what you think, that typically every 8 to 12 years, so I'm going to say an average 10, okay, give or take 2 less or 2 more, I find that we go through a dark tunnel, through a tough time in life, in whatever area of your life it might be. And I find, for me at least, that means I'm just in the brink of another big breakthrough, and that dark tunnel that I'm going through will get me to a high level of alignment. And it happened to me about probably 8 to 10 years ago. I'm going through it right now, through the discomfort and the growing pain. I always say to I love this analogy. So I have two girls, right? Alana, who is 13, and Brianna, who's 10. Alana is literally just doing her beach volleyball game right there. And when they were younger, they would get a lot of growing pains. If you're a mom or a dad, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Every time they were having a growth spurt, all of a sudden the joints would be so like, Mom, my knees hurt, my elbows, my shoulders, or my ankles. And I'm like, oh, you're growing, baby. Get excited. That means you're growing. And, I would rub it with some nice oil to warm it up, or, whatever kind of loving, nurturing thing I could do as a placebo effect for them to sleep well. And it's the same with us adults. In order to get to a high level of enlightenment, we go through those growing pains. So when it starts to become uncomfortable, when we put ourselves through the heat and the pain, and I just know, well, get excited. That means you're growing, right? I'm about to go to another level. So get your notebook and your pen ready. Get ready to learn, learn, learn. I'm very excited. And tomorrow, same place, same time, I'll be tuning in live, maybe to give you a little sneak peek of UPW with Tony Robbins. But you have the opportunity still, because especially if you're in Europe, this is perfect for you, because there is a UPW virtual in October, 22nd to 25th of October, with European times, and that's going to be October, and you can still get your ticket for that UPW virtual with Tony Robbins. And you can just go to bringthefreedom.com, and you will see it on the comments below. You'll see the link for you to just click and secure your ticket. So I get to do it for the next 4 days. I get to give you a little sneak peek. I get to celebrate my birthday with Tony Robbins, and then I will continue to entice you and influence you to get your ticket to come to UPW in October, anywhere you are in the world, because the one in October is going to be, I believe, 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. European time, because you guys in Europe, you like night owls. You like staying up late and then sleeping in. I'm the opposite, because here where I live in Gold Coast, we don't have daylight savings. So that means in spring and in summer, it's 4 a.m. in the morning and the sun is already out shining. And so you have to get out of bed. You can't stay in bed because it's like too bright to stay in bed. And I like getting up and getting ready. But of course I go to bed early. It's 8 or 9 p.m. and I'm usually in bed. So it's just the opposite. But I know last time I was in Amsterdam in February, just before lockdown, it's too cold and it's too dark to get out of bed early. So I totally understand why you guys in Europe go to bed late and get up late. So anyway, your don't-do list is more important than your to-do list. Why am I saying that? Because if you're anything like me, you probably like doing your to-do list, getting organized. What do I need to do today, etc. And that's great. Being organized and getting your list is fantastic. However, there is always things to do on your to-do list. And yes, that keeps you busy all day, but that doesn't mean you're being productive. That doesn't mean you're accomplishing anything. That doesn't mean if you're in business for yourself, or you're an entrepreneur or self-employed, that doesn't mean it's generating revenue for yourself, your team, your business, your family, right? Yes, you can be busy all day with the to-do list, but it's like, is it getting you closer to your goal? Is it being productive? Is the action that I'm taking being effective? Or am I just doing it for the sake of doing it, for the sake of staying busy? Because of course you can just stay busy all day. So what happens is, and if you're anything like me, you've probably been through those times where whether you use a physical diary or just your calendar on Google Calendar electronically, there's some of those days that you keep moving things. You have these things to do, and oh my God, it got to the end of the day, you were flat out and you didn't get to them. And so you just move them for the next day on your diary, or you just pass them to the next day in your electronic calendar, your Google Calendar, or whatever it is, right? And then the next day, guess what? It gets too busy, so you do the same. You just move it to the next day, whether it's on your physical diary or on your electronic calendar. And I don't know, but I know for me, it's been things that sometimes I have been moving for weeks and months. And then I look back and go, oh my God, I started moving this through in January. And then by March, April, May, I'm still moving it through. And then I realized, well, is it really important? Do I really need to do it? Right? So, or even worse, you beat yourself and you feel defeated by the end of the day and you feel like a failure because you didn't cross off your to-do list. Or even worse, you don't even have a to-do list, right? So the thing is, when you have written down all those things that you think that you need to do, now you gotta go through them and refine it. And you gotta find the big rocks. Okay, is this important? Is this gonna make a difference? Is this gonna move the needle? And if the answer is yes, well, great, it stays there. If the answer is no, then guess what? You delete it. So the important thing here is gonna be to delete, delegate, or remove. Okay, write it down. Delete, delegate, or remove. If you're here live, please type it in the chat because you'll remember it better and it's a good service for others, good karma, because you are putting the notes for them, right? And also write it on your notebook. So it's gonna be either delete, delegate, or remove. What happens? I remember once, I don't know, a couple of years ago, right? I went on a short cruise because I wanted to organize a big cruise for my 40th birthday, which was 2 years ago, and I did. I had this amazing cruise out of Miami down the Caribbean, and I had friends and family fly from all over the place. I literally had friends that flew all the way from Australia to America, from Mexico, from Europe, from Asia, to take this cruise with me to help me celebrate my 40th. But because I've always been very, I get casting easily, I get dizzy, I get queasy in the tummy. I was like, I don't know that I can be in a cruise for a whole week, right? So I wanted to test it. So I went on just a little weekend cruise out of here in Brisbane, in Australia, just to test how I would go. Obviously, it was a smaller ship, so I could feel the movement more. But the one we went in for my 40th, it was the biggest ship in the world, which Royal Caribbean has. So you feel the movement a lot less. There was only one day that I remember we're all like kind of holding onto the walls as we're walking down to the dinner place, to the dinner restaurant. So what happened is I thought I'm gonna disconnect myself, even though the boat had Wi-Fi. I just thought, you know what? I just want to enjoy myself for the 3 days on the weekend, whatever. So I literally switched my phone off, and for 3 days. So I thought, it's 3 days. I can survive, right? Like I can just go unplug and enjoy. So I did that. We did that, and then by the time we got back, excuse me, I was waiting for my driver to pick me up from the cruise terminal to take me back to my car. And as I turned my phone on, all the messages, right, start to be pinned. The missed calls, the messages, the WhatsApp, the emails, you name it, everything. And it's like, oh my God. And as I'm reading through, I start to realize half of them are irrelevant. They're no longer important. It's like, oh, I don't even need to reply to that anymore because that's something they needed that day. They figure it out. Oh, I don't even need to reply that because they already found a way to do it. Oh, I don't need to reply to that because I already talked to someone else in my team. Oh, I need, and I realized that I literally went and deleted 3/4 of them that were no longer relevant. But what happens if I had been there for those 3 days, right? I would have been like crazy, stressing, replying back, answering back to everyone, trying to do it all in a spot, being busy. And I just went, wow. So the world doesn't end if I'm not there to take care of all the messages that come through, the emails, the phone calls, and everything, right? The world doesn't end. Nobody died. Everyone survived. The world is still the same. The beach is still there. The ocean is still there. The waves are still crashing. Nothing happens, right? So I went, oh, isn't it amazing how we choose to stress ourselves the whole day with all of the things that we believe we have to do because they're on the to-do list. And then I realized half of it was no longer relevant. So what would it do for my productivity if I did that every day? If I ignore my phone or my messages or my emails for 4 or 5 or 6 hours, and I just sit down to do the things that really matter, the big rocks, the things that are going to move me closer to my goals, the things that are going to generate revenue, the things that are going to move the needle for me in my personal and my professional life, my business. And then I can just go check my all of my messages again 6 hours later. And I'm sure by then half of them will be irrelevant. So I won't even bother replying anymore. And the things that matter, I will take care of them or I will put them on my to-do for the next day, right? And it was miraculous what happened. because I became so productive, but effective on the things that really matter. And ever since I learned, you know what? Do I really need to do this? No, because if it has been sitting on a draft in my email, or if it has been sitting on a pending message on my phone, or if it has been sitting on my to-do list for 2 or 3 or more days, then surely it's not that relevant. It doesn't matter. It's not the end of the world. So delete. I don't think I need to do this. I thought 3 days ago it was important, but you know what? Today I realized it's irrelevant. So delete. Okay. Then there's other things that I realize, if it's still sitting in my drafts on my email, or if it's still sitting on my pending messages on my phone, or if it's still sitting on my to-do list, is because I'm procrastinating. Okay, remember, I already deleted everything that was not relevant. Okay, now if it's still sitting there, it's because I'm procrastinating. It's probably important, needs to be done, but I'm procrastinating. Why am I procrastinating? It's probably because it's not one of my strengths. And I know many years ago when I was in high school or in university back in the day, they used to teach us, strengthen your strengths. And it's like, no, strengthen your weaknesses, right? And now it's not. No. That's a big no. Completely different. You strengthen your strength and outsource your weakness. So in the old days, they used to teach us the opposite. Will strengthen your weakness. No, what for? I hate cooking, for example. I hate cooking. I'm shocking at cooking. My kids don't like my cooking. I don't like my own cooking, right? So I don't cook. So if someone said to me, go and strengthen your weakness, which is cooking, okay, I can do it if I really have to. But you know what? I'll never be as good as someone who loves cooking, who enjoys cooking, and who is good at cooking, because it's not my natural sense. So why am I going to waste all that time and effort in strengthening a weakness that I don't have and that I don't like? Because I'm not even going to enjoy it. So I'm probably going to do it with an attitude. I'm not going to be fulfilled, and it's not going to be raising my vibration of energy because it's not my thing, right? So instead, what we do these days is anything that you don't like doing, that you're not good at doing, it requires too much of your energy. It doesn't fulfill you. It doesn't have you bouncing off the walls with energy vibrating high. Then you outsource it, my friend. And so that's what I do. I have a chef that I hire, and she does all the cooking for us, because that way I know that myself and my kids are going to eat healthy, nutritious, homemade meals. And I don't have to stress about it. And I don't have to look at my poor kids looking at me like, Mom, your food sucks, right? I don't have to stress about it. I don't have to procrastinate. I don't have to be grumpy because I have to cook and then I have to clean it. I don't like doing it. So I'm not good at it. So I outsource it. So same with you don't do list. If you already went through the list, eliminated the things that are not important, not relevant anymore, delete them. If they're still sitting there, you're procrastinating. And if you're procrastinating, it's probably because it's not your strength. It's not the thing that gets your juices going. It's not the thing that gets your heart racing with excitement and fulfillment. So it's time to delegate it, my friend. I know for me, in my business, copywriting, that's for me. Anything, if I have to write copy for a Facebook ad or an email or a post or a marketing, oh my God, like I'll avoid it for as long as I can, because I don't enjoy doing it. And I don't think I'm so good at it. I've learned over the years and I've become a little better, but it's not my strength. So I'll outsource it to my team, right? Or anything to do with graphic design. I'm a shocker designer. So I have my graphic designer whom I outsource it to, or sometimes my social media manager does it as well. So you delegate. So you're deleting, you're delegating, okay? And then there's things that you just gonna remove because they're no longer relevant. So now your to-do list is very relevant, because whatever is left in there is important, is moving the needle, is getting you closer to your goals, is generating revenue, and you know that you're good at doing it, or you enjoy doing it, and you're gonna do it. So now, my friend, you're setting yourself up for success. Because before, when you start your day and you have a to-do list of 50 things that there's no way on earth any human could possibly get through it through the day, guess what? You put in little messages, you're stacking them up in your subconscious of, I'm not successful, I'm not good enough. I didn't do it, I failed, blah, blah, blah. And then you're overwhelmed because you don't even know what to do first. And then you're feeling down and depressed at the end of the day because you didn't accomplish it. So, dude, you're not setting yourself up for success. But what happens when you go through the list, to delete, remove, delegate, do anything you have to do, now your list becomes much more smaller. And now the things that are in there, you're going to get them done because they're going to make a big difference. They're going to move the needle. They're going to generate revenue. They're going to get you closer to your goals. And now you go excited to do it. Now you're setting up yourself for success because now it's probably 5 instead of 50. Now you're going to get it done. Now you're going to feel amazing patting yourself on the shoulder at the end of the day and feeling so accomplished and proud of yourself and productive because you actually did it. What a difference would that make? So you don't do list is more important than your to-do list. And if you're not sure what you don't do list and what's your to-do list, just implement, we discussed the other day, binary thinking. Binary thinking is yes or no, nothing in between, no gray areas, right? So is this gonna get me closer to my goal? Yes, do it. No, don't do it. Is this gonna generate revenue? Maybe, don't do it. Because if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, right? Is this gonna, get me closer to my kids? Yes, great, do it. No, don't do it. Or not sure, don't do it. You gotta be strong enough to be binary, black or white. Anything in the middle is gray, and if it's gray, by default, it becomes a no. That's how you become clear on what needs to be on your to-do list, what needs to be on your don't do list. You don't do list would be like don't check your social media in the middle of the day because you know that 2 hours later you're still gonna be hooked in there wasting time, right? Don't check your emails as soon as you wake up in the morning because now you're already stressed and you didn't allocate the time to put the intention to set up for your day, right? So you don't do your emails as soon as you wake up. You don't go on your social media right in the middle of the day when it's supposed to be your more productive hours. You do the hardest things, the things that you avoid, and they're the toughest that you normally procrastinate. They're the ones that you just go and execute first to get them out of the way. You don't go and do all the trivial things first just to avoid because the important thing is going to take longer. So you tend to leave it until the end. No, no, no. It's the opposite. You attack it first. You eat the big shark first. Go get it done because once you do it, guess what? Now you're feeling amazing with yourself. You got the most important thing out of the way, right? Tony Robbins is amazing at teaching you how to focus. I mean, the man has what, 43, 47 businesses himself? How does he do it? Well, guess what? He's very good at his don't do list. He's very good at knowing what to remove, what to delete, what to delegate to others. That's the only way he could do it. Otherwise, just with one business, that's the other thing. How many times you're like, oh, I'm doing this, but I'm also going to do this and I want to try that. And it's like, why? You're splitting now your energy, 10% here, 10% that, there, 10% there. The results are going to be very scattered as well. Because if you're starting a new thing, a new venture, a new business, a new something, a new startup, you got to focus all your attention and energy onto that. That's the only way Tony Robbins can have so many businesses and be successful at them. Because he's very good at separating the to-do list versus the don't-do list. He's very good at delegating what is not for him to do or deleting or removing from the list. So what can you take off your list straight away now? What can you pass from the to-do list to the don't-do list straight away to release your time, your energy, your focus so that you can feel better about yourself, so that you can set yourself up for success, so that you can be productive and start being effective and getting the results? What can you, I would love for you to share with me on the chat, again, whether you're doing it now live or watching the replay later. Share with me, oh my God, Sandra, this is the one thing I just moved from my to-do list to my don't-do list that make the biggest difference. Because remember, it's the little changes that make the biggest difference. And those little changes, those little success subtle messages for the subconscious stack up to make it a big breakthrough, to give you a big result, to make a big difference. So what are those tiny little changes you can implement today? You can remove from your to-do list, move them to your don't-do list. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be here tomorrow, same time, same place, and the day after to share with you any new breakthroughs that I'm getting whilst I'm doing UPW with Tony Robbins himself. And I hope you go and get your ticket. If you don't have it yet, remember October 22nd to 25th, life changing event. Tony is creating history in this 360 live interactive experience. You don't want to miss out. Trust me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So go to bringthefreedom.com to get the ticket for UPW in October 22nd to 25th with Tony Robbins, the man, the legend himself, and get your breakthrough and take your life to a whole new level. Get to that next level of enlightenment. Finally get to create the life of your dreams. Get your ticket, bringthefreedom.com. I will be here tomorrow, same place, same time to share what my breakthroughs have been so far on day one of UPW tomorrow. So, on behalf of Success Resources, Tony Robbins, and myself, Sandra Bravo, in beautiful Gold Coast of Australia, signing off. Live with passion, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, same place, same time. Until then, have an amazing day. Bye bye.